Hi guys, this is Darryl with Lee's Lawn Care and Services. How y'all doing on this Sunday fun day? Hope you guys had a great week. This week was a rough week for us. Uh, Rained. This is the third week in a row that it's rained on us. We've had rain every day for 3 weeks. That's what we had, and thank God we're not behind. Thank God we're not behind. So we got everything done. We did 36 yards this week. Not trying to kill ourselves. We just worked at a pace, and that was pretty good. I was tired toward the end. You get toward the end of the week and you get tired. You feel the wear and tear of the week. You start off the week fresh, and then as you go and get to the end of the week, man, you're like worn down. You're like, oh my God, feel like a train hit you. That's when those yards catch up with you. So I could have finished up yesterday, but I was just too tired. I just saved the last 2 yards for today. So I went out this morning and I got those yards done, and I was being offered more work and I turned it down. You could literally make all the money you want out here if you truly want to. But at some point, your body's gonna tell you, hey, you need to slow down a little bit, And that's kind of what that was. I was just tired, from the wear and tear of the week and all the different things that you deal with throughout the week. It catches up with you, man. It gets to you after a while. So, you got to take care of yourselves. You got to make sure you're drinking plenty of water. I drink a Gatorade, but what I do, I halfen it up. I'll drink half the Gatorade, and I'll drink about 2 or 3 bottles of water, and I'll drink another half the Gatorade. I kind of cut it up a little bit, and make sure I have more water in my system than the Gatorade. But that's kind of what I do. Is just a little something that I do. I had a friend of mine ask me about a pattern. What kind of patterns do I run when I'm running my business? And I had to tell him, it's like, what I do, like in the beginning of the week, I catch my bi-weeklies. That's what I do. In the beginning of the weeks, I catch my bi-weeklies because they don't care. The yard needs to be cut anyway, so they just like, okay, well, you come here on a Monday or Tuesday or whenever, it doesn't matter. They just want it cut. And then toward the end of the week, I catch my weeklies. I kind of round it off. Like I start catching my weeklies I catch one on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Because it's a preference for him. That's what he likes. On the weekends, they like to have their parties and not be disturbed and all that good stuff. So I try to get through that early in the week. So I catch him. He's the only one that's like that. All the other ones, I catch him on a Wednesday on up, which are my weeklies. But Mondays and Tuesdays are primarily my bi-weekly yards during that particular week. And then the rest of the week, toward the end of the week, I'm knocking out nothing but weeklies. I'm on them. Because you got to give the grass time to grow. If you catch a weekly on a Friday, you're not going to turn around and catch a weekly on a Monday or Tuesday. That's too quick. The grass hasn't grown quick enough. So that's kind of how I operate that, because he asked me and he's like, well, how you manage them? And that's kind of one of the patterns that I use, that's been very, very effective for me. I've been doing this for 16 years. It's been a while, it's been a nice journey of doing this type of work. And you learn a lot of different things, So I also had a video the other day when I was talking about the customer wasn't happy, okay? So I sat down, I talked to my son, we talked about it, and then I thought about some of the things that he was saying when I was talking to him, because he called me after, I told you he wasn't happy about it, and we had talked about it during that time, and then he called me again when I was working on some other yards, and he still was just talking about, different stuff. We left a bag of grass down there for the trash man, and he went to complaining about that. He was like, well, trash bags, over full, which it wasn't, but he's like, the trash guys, are going to complain about it, and, we don't want to kill the trash guys, blah, blah, blah. But I've been leaving trash bags there I've had him for 3 years now, and I leave a trash bag there. I was primarily a bagger, um, for a while, and then until my son got the little mulcher, and that's what we do now. We mulch up a lot of the stuff, but his yard, because he don't like any riding machines on it, I bag it with my Honda, with my snapper with the Honda engine. So I bag it with that. And he was talking about that. I'm like, the guys don't never complain. They just take it. He's like, yeah, but I don't want to leave it for him. So, as a courtesy, we went back. I picked the bag up, and he was talking about the lines again. I said, well, look, the grass is wet. It's been raining for, every day for 3 weeks. I mean, it is what it is at that point. Now, once the grass becomes a forest, you're gonna pay more. That's how I roll. Like, if I come through there on my scheduled time to cut, and you're saying, oh, wait, whatever, then you get kicked off the schedule. You're gonna have to call me, and then I'm gonna set something up, and then when I set it up, it's gonna be more money. It's not gonna be the money that you've been paying. That's kind of how it is with me. It's like if somebody says, oh, we want to wait, sure, then you get off the schedule. Then when you call me and there's no availability, don't be upset. So, long story short, went down, we picked the bag up, we did that for him, and I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I said, the next time his cycle comes around again, which is not next week, but the following week, because he's a bi-weekly yard, and it never fails to amaze me. It's always the bi-weekly yards that complain. I don't understand. Never the weekly yards, that not that much. I'm not calling on none of that stuff, Lord. But I'm just saying, it's the bi-weekly guys, and they talk, and it's for some reason it's those group of people. So, I thought about it, and then I got a call from one of my weeklies that I've been doing Joey for about 12 or 13 years. Been a while. And his brother has a lot that they want me to cut and add to the list. So I went out, show you how God works. This was the very next day. He called me about this lot. I went out there, I priced the lot, we got the lot, we're gonna start cutting the lot next week. I only charged him, I think, like, the lot's not that big, and it's really, really not that high. I only charged him like $50 to run over a lot. It's no weeding, it's just running it over. So we're gonna start cutting this lot next week, and we're gonna keep that lot up until the guy sells it or whatever. And I have another lot as well that I cut. I charge her a little more, because her lot is bad, pretty bad. So I charge her more for that, and I know she don't like that too much, but it's either, if I do it, it's a lot cheaper than the city doing it, because the city is charging, they fine you like $250, and then they cut it. But I think she told me $500. I think the city fined her. So she had an option to go back with the city, or she had an option to come to me or go to somebody else and have them cut it. So she came to me, I took it, and I charged her a nice price for that. So that's what we do. We cut one lot, so we got another lot. So that's what I'm saying, like, just to go to show you how God works. It's like, okay, well, if this guy's tripping, I'm sorry, I'm bagging up. I made it home. I just want to make sure I'm straight. So, like I said, just to go to show you how God works, is like, if this guy is tripping, I'll give you somebody else. It doesn't matter. It's not going to stop your business. And the crazy part about that, he told me one time, he said, man, you keep business. I said, I've been in this area for 15 years. I've been in the business for 16 years. He was one of the first yards that I got. And I've been in that area for almost as long, I didn't damn near cut, not everybody on the block, but I didn't cut a lot of yards on that block, and they, people move and stuff like that, stuff happens. So that's just the way it is. But so, like I said, just to show you how God works, I got a lot that's paying a lot more than what he was paying. And there's no complaints, because it's not even weedy, and it's just straight rider. Run over it, leave it, send me the pictures, I'll Venmo you. It's that simple. It don't get no more simple than that. You send the picture up, you get the Venmo, the payment's pretty much there. So that's another thing, guys. Make sure you have your your payment methods where you can, like, I got a lot of customers I don't see. And so they do three things. They can either Venmo, Cash App, or Zelle. Those are the three things that I use. Or if they do see me, they can leave the text. I always text them the night before. They can leave it in an envelope under the mat in the mailbox, that type of thing. Or like I said, they can Venmo, they can Zelle, or they can Cash App. One of the three, So that way you don't you get your payment. You don't have to wait and all this other old stuff. It is what it is. And for the most part, like I said, a lot of the business that I have, they're established. I've been having them for a long time. So I don't have any issues with them paying. And the ones I did have issues with paying, I no longer have them. They're going. They got to go. Nice people, love you, but, if I'm gonna get put out of my house because you're not paying me, you got to go. So it is what it is. You just have to be a realist about stuff. It is what it is. It's unfortunate, but you got to do what you got to do. You got to eat. Your bills are not, they're not taking a back seat to nobody. You got to take care of them. So, yep. So that guy with that stuff, man, I listened at it, and I guess I didn't pick up on really what he was talking about until I left. And I really had time to analyze what he was talking about. I'm like, well, I told my son, I said, man, he kind of insulted us, huh? And Josh said, yeah, he kind of did when you really sit down and think about it. But he did it in a clever way, I'm like, yeah, he did. The way he said the stuff that he said it a certain way. It wasn't offensive or anything like that, but it was like a crack at you. And then when he also said, hey, those guys across the street cut that grass and their grass just is green and, yada, 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 which I seen those guys cut across the street, cut the grass, and I seen them work in a lot of places, and I see what they do, and I'm telling you, I'm a definitely recommend that he go and have those guys start cutting his grass when his cycle comes around again, because I'm sure tell him, I'm gonna say, look, once you have those guys cut your grass and see how it goes or whatever, because I don't want to keep having you at an inconvenience when I'm not doing it the right way or whatever, and as that, he can have those guys cut it. But I seen their work, and I say good luck with it. That's just me, I'm not opposed to any of that. I'm all for us. We work hard out here, and some of us work harder than others. We put in a lot of effort into what we do, and like I said, some guys do, some guys don't. Those guys, from what I've seen from them, they're consistent. I'll give them that from what I've seen so far out of them. They're new to the area, so they're consistent. But I've seen some of their work, and their work is not, I don't know. Some of their work looks sketchy, so to speak. I'm not going to say all of it. Some of it does. But, hey, it could be a great fit for him and a great fit for me, because then I don't have to deal with him, So that's how I look at it. I don't have to deal with the stuff that he got to say when he comes and says stuff. He can relay that message on to them. And I mean, he has a great personality. He's a good person. He's just, just the kind of the indirect way he comes at you and talks to you about stuff, and you don't pick up on that stuff. You be like, damn, well, what happened there? Did he just badmouth me or what? Because the way he says stuff is real tricky, as to how he does it. So I guess he's been, I guess he's trained to talk that way, because he's done it before, but I never really picked up on it until this particular time. I started putting it together. There was one other time that I saw something, and I'm like, that didn't sound right. It just came off wrong. So, it is what it is. But yeah, man, I'm gonna definitely recommend that he gets those guys, those people, and let them try. And it could be like I said, it could be a good workout for him, And it worked out for me already, because somebody's already ready to jump in his place, And I've already scheduled them next week to be on the list. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna hit them up tomorrow. I'm gonna cut the lot the first time tomorrow. along with the $85 property I got to cut tomorrow as well. So man, I'm like I said, dude, my people support me. It's like some people think that, and I used to think this way too, because I used to be a manager, and they used to say, well, if you don't, you do, this is all you have, and blah, blah, blah. And I tell them, that's all I could tell you, and then the customer get, irate, start cursing and all that stuff. I used to tell him, sir, I can no longer help you. And I walked away from this customer. And so lo and behold, he went down the street to the other place. He thought he could get what he was trying to get there. About an hour later, he was back where we, in our establishment, getting the rest of what we had that he was fussing about that we didn't have enough of because the other place didn't have it at all. And he just looked at me and I looked at him, and I saw him back in there, and he just, I'm going to another place. I'm like, go ahead. I mean, if you need the product, I'm inconveniencing you by not having enough of the product that you want. Go down there. He went down there. They didn't have any. So he had to come back to us, to get the stuff that he was looking for. So, man, it's just crazy. So hopefully, like I said, that works out for him. It definitely works out for me, because I don't have to listen at that, that stuff. And, I don't have to try to depict whether or not I was insulted or not insulted or discredited or credited. I don't have to picture that stuff. We don't have time. We don't have the time, man. We work too hard. Sometimes we're moving so fast, we forget stuff. We don't have the time to sit there and listen to somebody whine about something. I mean, we could be cutting yards. We could be blowing off or weed eating. Like today, I was just tired. And so one of my customers, I wasn't even doing his yard. I did his yard a couple of days ago. I had to go back in that area to do the one yard that I left because I was just tired. I told Josh, I said, look, just put everything up, man. I'll come back. I'll catch Miss Lydia later. I'll catch her, the next day. And that's what happened. I went back, and she was like, well, the yard's too wet to cut. I said, it's wet, but I got to try. I said, it's bad. It's getting out of hand. And she's one of my bi-weeklies, So I went there. And I was working on y'all cutting it up. So the other customer came out, and he was talking to me. He was like, man, he was just talking about another job he wanted me to, if I was interested in doing, taking down his flower bed and taking the dirt and spreading it around his patio, because his patio got some sinking spots around it, and he wanted to put the dirt around that, once we took the flower bed down, once we took it apart. And so I told him, I said, sure. I said, we'll have to set up a date to have that done, and he kept wanting to talk about some other stuff, which I understand. He lives by himself. He's 70 something years old, almost 80 years old, and he likes to talk. And I gave him the benefit of the doubt. We were talking for a little bit, and then I kind of talked, and I kind of was walking away. I'm like, okay, well, we'll set something up to get that done. And I started walking away because I knew I had to work on Miss Lydia's yard, and Miss Lydia's yard was in bad shape. That yard took me 2 hours, and I'm glad I kind of singled it out by itself, and I only had the two accounts. I had the commercial account and her today. And so that's what I did, and that commercial account went down like nothing. I went over there, I was in and out of there in 20 minutes. And then her yard took 2 hours, because I had to clean it up, and I take pride in my work. I wasn't going to leave the stuff just a mess, got my rake out, kind of raked some stuff up, put in the piles, put in the bags. Old school. He had to go old school on that to get it to look good. She came out. She was really, really happy. She's like, yeah. She said, looks this the way the yard's supposed to look. I said, yeah. I said, it required a lot more work, but, I had time. I didn't have to think about going to another property, doing something else. And that's kind of what that was. I took my time, and I really touched it up a little bit. So she was happy, which made me happy because I knew that my work is always appreciated, when it's like that. But, like I said, that guy, man, God is good, man. He sees stuff before we see stuff, and he saw that, and he was like, you know what? You ain't even got to worry about that. I'm gonna send you some easier work with more money on it. How would you like that? I'm like, cool, I'll take it. That's what you got to do, and so that's what happened. I always have work out here, like all the time. I get people asking me all the time, the trailer's got the number, they call. I send the work to other people, because we booked. Can't take any more yards in right about now. We're rotating the the ones we have, and we're very, very profitable with that rotation that we got going on right now. And it is what it is, man. It's just great. I met one of my old friends. I seen him. Hadn't seen him in a while. And I seen him the other day when I was chopping on the gas station, which is another commercial account that I have. Them gas stations are tough, guys. Trash everywhere. Every time you go there, it's like a mess. You have to pretty much, clean up. I found money. I found condoms. I found all kinds of needles. You got to be very careful when you cleaning up a gas station. Ain't no telling what you may find dealing with them. But I've been having that gas station for about 3 or 4 years now, so I'm kind of used to it. I'm kind of used to dealing with what I have to deal with over there. But I seen him, spoke to him. He's like, man, he said, you all right? I said, man, I'm doing what I enjoy. And I am. I'm doing what I'm tired. I'm exhausted, but I still go out there and I fight that heat. I still go out there and I do the things I need to do, because I'm dedicated to myself and I'm dedicated to doing what I need to do. I'd rather punch my time clock than to punch a time clock for somebody else. That's just my take on it. But guys, I'll see you on the next one. You see, I'm tired. I'm getting sleepy. I got this food I got to bring inside. So I'll catch you on the next one, man. Hopefully next week, it won't be as rainy as these last 3 weeks been, but I don't know. We'll see. You guys take care. You stay blessed. Stay prayed up, man. You'll be fine. I pray for you guys every day. Take care. Peace.